Hello. So, I'm going to be continuing this series of reading scriptures in Ecclesiastes, and then going over them. So, today is going to be Ecclesiastes 3, 1 through 8, and then 14. So, let's just get right into it. So, this is the King James Version, and Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill, and a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get, and a time to lose, a time to keep, and a time to cast away, a time to rend, and a time to sow, a time to keep silence, and a time to speak, a time to love, and a time to hate, a time of war, and a time of peace. And then 14 is, I know that whatsoever God does, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God does it, that men should fear before him. Whew. So let's go over through 1 through 8 first. So to me, the most important thing is honestly the very first scripture, which is, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. You know, people sometimes get this misconception that there's some part of our lives, of your life, of each other's lives, that's pointless. But I don't think that's entirely true. I think that there, as it says, that there is, to everything there is a season. I think to everything that there is a season. I agree with that scripture. And the reason why I agree is because it feels like everything is necessary in a way. Sometimes people think that doing nothing is worth nothing. But to me, if you're running around 24/7, doing this, that, and the other, always busy, always surrounded by noise, by something, then would that not be exhausting? I know it was for me. And actually that's a good segue, because whenever I was in high school, oh man, it was more so because of the mental taxation of being at school every day, and just like seeing the futility, seeing how like I was kind of wasting my time. And I got burnt out. I really got in a very bad place, and I was super burnt out, and I wasn't even doing a whole lot, is the crazy part. But it was just the mental tax that had really taken place on me and had dragged me down like big time. And now, like looking back, it's like sometimes I wish that I had just done nothing earlier and had simply, sat in the silence and talked to God or anything. But at the same time, in that same breath, I can say that I look back at it and say that there was a purpose to that season, because that is a part of who I am today. I have become the person I am today because of that struggle. Maybe if I didn't struggle, I would have never learned all the things that I did. Maybe I never would have truly submitted my life to God, truly put myself in a place of submission, and I never would have reached the place that I am, that I am immensely blessed with wisdom, and that I have just a lot of tools and things, and I have a lot of things that I want to do, and a lot of, love I want to give. And so, it's important to understand that there is a purpose to everything. It is only whenever we command it, whenever we will it for something to have truly no purpose, that it has no purpose. And even then, it still has purpose. You just have to look for it. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It goes to show that God, whenever he designed things, he was just a million trillion steps ahead of us. And, it just continues to be so amazing to experience his love and to understand that there's a season to everything. Everything has its purpose. Everything has its time, its place. You just gotta look for it. Perspective. And so now let's go to 14. This is easily a very important scripture, I think. I mean, let's just go ahead and read it. I know that whatsoever God does, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God does it, that men should fear before him. To me, honestly, the very first thing that I think of is salvation, the sacrifice. Jesus Christ sacrificing himself. There is nothing that can be put to it nor taken away from it. It exists. It's there. It's present. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, until the point you die, it is always there. Because whenever you die, you make your choice, really. Is do you want to believe? Do you want that as your salvation or not? Do you want to be with God or do you not want to be with God? And so, but even more so than that, even in our daily lives, God does things for me that I don't even know. Like, there's just no words for it, and nothing has been put to it nor taken away from it. It exists. It's not that the thing itself is necessarily, it's not added to it directly, but rather it's expanded, it's multiplied, it's squared. God is he's abundantly giving. He abundantly gives. He doesn't just give you one jar of blessings and say, there you go, that's your allowance for the month. Like, no, he's abundantly blessing us. I mean, every breath I take is a blessing. And so it's just like it's again this perspective, it's really a surge of just like gratitude, because I can see that nothing can be put to nor taken away from what he has done for me and what he is doing for me. It's just my perspective. That is really what affects things the most. And I mean, this is Solomon's writing this book, and he's that guy who I think he asked for to be the wisest man like ever or something like that. And these are the things that he's saying. He's understanding that like God is just he's absolute, bro. you can't put anything to him or take anything from him. And I do want to touch on the last part. It says that men should fear before him. I think that there is a big I don't know how to say the word. I guess it's a big misinterpretation of fear. God doesn't mean literal fear, not human fear. God means reverence, highly respect. Above all else, place his will at the forefront of everything. Say that he has said to do this. So I know that he didn't just say that for no reason, that there is a different outcome that could be much worse, much more, it could lead to much more suffering or like whatever. It's going to be a lot worse. He wouldn't just say to do something for no reason. He's saying to do it for a reason, because whatever that reason is, I mean, it's going to be something big. It's going to be something important. Otherwise, he wouldn't have said nothing. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, because I know we've been here for... I try to keep it between 8 and 10 minutes. I think that's the perfect spot. But I'll know after I start getting people to actually, after I start getting some consistent viewers, then I'll know whether to keep it longer, whether to do it shorter. We'll see. But anyways, y'all just be blessed, man. And I hope that this series will be eye-opening to some people. And I just pray it's a blessing for everyone. So be blessed.